Good morning, everybody. Robert here from the Red Dragon School of Martial Arts. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Tai Chi and taking a closer look at part wild horse's mane. So let's take a moment and allow everybody to settle in a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of room. Make yourself comfortable. I hope that all is well with you within reason. You're keeping yourself active, you're keeping yourself moving, and you're getting outdoors, and you're spending time on working on yourself. I would encourage you to lower your stress levels by turning off the news a little bit, maybe get into some reading that you've been meaning to get to, especially on the topic of study. Now would be a good time to try to catch up on some of the great works that have been done regarding Tai Chi, and I promise you, I've never run across a bad book on the subject. And it doesn't necessarily have to directly relate to the Yang family style, because all of the different styles of Tai Chi have essentially the same principles because they came from the same origin. So I would encourage you to try to collect materials on the subject and just enjoy the process of learning. I can tell you this, you can study this thing for years, for decades, and never learn all there is to know about it. And that's good, that's what keeps it interesting and fun. And when you think about the reason why you might put yourself through a learning experience like that, is because, again, the effect it's going to give you. When you think about better understanding yourself, using this as a method to do that, adding strength and flexibility to your body, generally speaking, the ability to relieve stress out of our body, and apply these principles to the day-to-day processes that we go through, the responsibility that we have, and the way we're going to manage ourselves from a day-to-day basis, right? So I really would encourage you to add reading into your experience. You're going to find you're going to get a lot more in-depth, profound philosophical information about it, and that's going to help you increase your appreciation for this great tradition. So add that in, and tell me about some of the things that you're running across that you find interesting and want to share, and please feel free to make that available to us. All right, let's begin. Let's make our bodies comfortable. Spread your feet out a little bit. Relax yourself into your feet. You're trying to let gravity pull everything down out of you, so just make yourself kind of bouncy. When you think about the way that we manage our frame, generally speaking, there's two things we're trying to do throughout this process. Number one is to remain stable. We want to keep our body stable. That way tension is not holding us, so to speak, right? So if we can relax and loosen our bodies up and remain stable, that's number one. And since we're trying to use energy, and if we could possibly think of our body as a conductor, one big field of energy, if you will, then we would like to unify that energy. In other words, we would like our whole body to move as an integrated unit. And what we try to do that is to gently extend the frame. So two things, we're going to settle the body down, and we're going to gently lengthen the frame out a little bit, allowing that interconnectivity. So let's begin by lifting the crown point up. Physically feel this part of your head pushing up. We say an insubstantial spirit to the top of the head. An elegant posture, the head is in, eyes are bright, the mouth is closed, the breathing is relaxed in and out of the nose. And generally speaking, feel like you're trying to make yourself a little bit taller, a little bit of a pushing out on the back part of your neck. So here we like to bring that chin in and feel this area here. Feel that extension upward. Now, the thing about Tai Chi that is quite conspicuous is that it illustrates opposites in every element of this art. It gets its principle from acknowledging the harmonious opposites that exist in our universe, right, in our lives. So lifting up, at the same time, we want to relax down. We're going to stretch up and relax down. Imagine like a puppet, somebody lifting you up by your hair and shaking your body off, letting everything kind of hang down from that crown point. Kind of a unique way to observe yourself. Moving down your body, check that your shoulders are settled. Let your elbows pull on your shoulders a little bit forward. Your wrists and fingers are gently extended. The chest relaxed so we're not carrying any energy in our chest. Here's a rather profound observation of yourself, for example. When you think about holding energy in your body, there's many kinds of energy we have. And when you think about emotional forces, emotional energy, real energy, the place that we keep that is in our heart. We feel our emotions, right? So what we want to try to do is to, clear our mind a little bit, put aside any kind of emotional challenges or stress or whatever that you're dealing with individually in your life, and try to just put them aside for now. We're going to practice here. So we're going to get back to all that stuff later, right? So we need to relieve our heart of any concerns. Forgive, forget, move on, right kind of feeling. So let's lessen the burden in our heart by relaxing this area as well. Moving down your body, let your waist down. Here you have a hinge here. So we're going to lower that waist down. We're going to open the gate of the body so that we can use the upper half without distorting the lower half. All right. So from here we're going to sit down on an arc-like frame. Feel your feet very carefully. Let's pull your arms out in front of your shoulders a little bit in front of you, kind of like this feeling here, so to speak. Everything kind of wrapped around a great big cylinder, if you will. Now use your lower spine. Feel your tummy. And feel that force that you're whipping through your body. Push on the floor. Feel your tummy. Relax your breathing. You're steering from inside. In order to do that, you have to feel that. Turn up the feeling, especially in this area of the body. Turn that up. That's what you're going to control everything with and from. Little charge in the tummy helps. Not extreme. You're not trying to, because it's going to limit the flow of energy. No, just your awareness is all that's necessary. So draw your attention here. Wherever your mind goes, your chi goes. So if you want to direct energy, you simply use your mind to do that. And that's done through our feeling, right? From here, push down to the floor. Feel that crown point, push up. Can you push down and push up? Of course you can. Feel it. Change direction. Again, try to integrate your body. You're trying to work with motion and energy that's interconnected, stable, and extended. And relax again, push on the floor. Keep the knees bent slightly, keep your waist settled. That will enable that top part to settle into the bottom. Gravity will help you, you just got to let go. Push on the floor and roll your shoulders. So try not to contain any internal tension. Change direction. And rest. Again, check for that release. Pull down on your belt line, a little bit of a rolling little bit. So you open up that gate, here lift up and pull down. Seems opposite. Ease up, same thing. Pull down, tuck your waist a little bit, but yet lift your ribs. Right up through your fingers, extend. Try to see the opposite in all things, right? It kind of helps to harmonize things. From here, round your spine. Ease up, hands fall slow, waistline down. Imagine this is a bowl full of thick fluid. Keep your head still, chin in, mouth closed, take a conscious deep breath, direct your attention down, and stir. Feel the motion carefully. The more you turn up your observation, your feeling, the less mental activity you're going to have, the more you're going to relax your thinking. And really, that's where a lot of our stress comes from. It's not the situations themselves, they're outside of us. It's our reaction to them in many cases, right? So if we can sort of mitigate or at least reduce our reactivity to situations, well, we're going to reduce that stressful response, right? Let's put your feet close together. Hands on your knees, big circles. Change direction. Carefully polish. Feel that. Stay on your feeling. And up slow. Extend your frame. Lean forward and touch the floor. Try not to bend your knees. Just relax your breathing. Just let your body go down slow. Release your breathing, everything nice and comfortable. Reach to your right. To the center. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Back to center. Leaning on your hands, bring your feet a little closer together, open them to the corners. Try to sit comfortably, elbows inside your knees, and rock. Relax your breathing. Palms down, lean on your hands, feet parallel. Bend your knees, hands above your knees. Tuck your tail. Round your shoulders, round your spine. Now smooth waves. Gather energy into the feet, coil into the legs, push. Drive that right up through your spine. Coil energy down, push firmly. Guide it right up through your body. Push down, drive up. Push down. Kind of relax your body, let it move freely. Knock that tension. Very easy to acquire tension internally. Also pretty easy to knock it out of there. So you got to recognize that need, so to speak, right? We take in stress every day. We react to stressful situations. Life in a modern society is challenging, very stressful. So what we would like to do is try to relieve that out. It's not how much stress you take in. It's how often you get rid of it. How often are you wringing your body out, knocking that tension out of your body? That's really very, very important to our health. We try not to have too much tension inside because that's going to restrict the circulation, right? And over time, that's going to accumulate, and before you know it, you kind of rust. Yeah, inflammation sets in, your joints get all tight and stiffened up, and before you know it, the aging process is upon us. So, got to be good to yourself every day. Knock the tension out of your body one way or another. Tai Chi is just one of many great methods to do that, right? All right, standing meditation. I hope, no matter what area of life you're involved in as far as your profession or whatever exercise programs you're using, that you do have some, I hope, but that you involve or incorporate meditation as part of your practice. And what is meditation? Meditation is simply focusing. We have to train our minds. Our minds belong to us, but it doesn't mean that we have great control over it, right? And that's why we succumb to different cravings and different things that we probably wouldn't really want to do, not in our best interest, so to speak, right? That's our mind doing that to us. And we have to be able to develop a little bit of control over that. And one of the oldest forms in the world to do that is to practice meditation. And meditation is a stillness practice. So it means we sit still and we try to focus on developing that some control over ourselves. And the side effect is that your mind becomes more still or relaxes, right? So it's not that you're trying to bring your mind to stop your thinking. Your thinking is something that naturally occurs to you. But you would like to be able to have some degree of ability to direct that thinking and to be able to focus on one thing. So what we're going to do that, we're going to draw our attention into the dantian, this region of our body. And to keep our attention there, we're going to a little bit of a charge, a little bit of a squeeze there. Let your tail down, push on the floor, let your tummy be a little bit flexed. To help you do that, you can actually tap your body pretty vigorously. Take the palms of your hand and simply strike it. Automatically makes you charge that area of your body to protect it, doesn't it? So you can't really, it's pretty hard to hit yourself and stay too terribly relaxed. So a little bit of charge there will help to keep your attention focused there. Take your fingers, put it in your sternum and push in on your chest as if you were trying to push out on that spine. So feel your spine, feel the tummy, feel the feet. Now bring your hands forward and tilt your palms away from you a little bit. Now here, depending on where you are, your eyes are really not something you're focusing on. Your eyes tend to be gazing. This is de-emphasized, this part here. So the head activity, the brain activity, and the visual activity is reduced a little bit, and we're going to turn up the feeling and maintain that charge in order to train our focus. So with a gentler out expansion-like feeling, so you're pressing out, a little charge in your tummy, pull down on the lower spine so you feel this area quite thoroughly, and hold the posture. Now, to assist you to stay on task, turn up the sound of your breathing. Imagine breathing into the area and charging your qi into the dantian with each deep breath. So breathe in, right into that dantian, as if you're adding more and more charge with each breath. And you can feel that charge accumulating in your feet, building up in your legs, and connecting this lower half together with a lot of internal energy. So let's breathe right into that area. Let's do it. Pick a spot and kind of gaze and use your peripheral vision turned up. So try to see in this area, in the peripheral vision, more clear. Feel the body, calm the mind, and be still. You hold the posture long enough, you're going to start to see a little bit of a glow around things, right? Kind of cool. So this is a training tool designed to help us practice stillness, add strength to our body, and to practice the principles of Tai Chi, meaning head raised, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers settled and extended, sink the chest, lower the waist, connect inner and outer motion together, integrate upper and lower, relaxing the body or using your mind and not flexing the body, everything connected, and in applying this idea into motion, then we use it to be continuous without interruption. We just try to create a differential of flow through the body, right? Okay. So use this one as much as you can. Warm your body up and do the post position. I would recommend, even if you don't go through form, that every single day you do this. Just stretch out a little bit and commit to holding it for 3 minutes a day. I promise you'll be amazed at the results. All right, put your feet close together. Let's turn to your left 45 degrees. So in summary, your right toe pointing straight down the center line. Put your right hand in front with your right elbow over your right knee. Your chest and torso are going to turn in the direction of the weighted foot. So your front foot is empty while your rear foot is full. So palm is down, the hand is up. Here we're practicing the basic theory of empty full. With this foot empty of weight, sit comfortably and emphasize the rear leg. Try to settle your hip by tucking your tail just a little bit. Pull down on that waistline, make sure the knee's unlocked, and feel the foot very thoroughly. For those of you who want to add more work value to it, push down, lift up, and sit. Try to sit into your feet. Reaching forward, step back, the right toe opens to the right side. Turn your body in the direction of your right foot with the waist and shoulders and weighted on the right leg. Left hand forward, left elbow over the knee. Feel the foot thoroughly. Breathe down into your feet. Oops. Whenever you feel that, let's say you feel the wobble, right? And your mind is a little occupied and you start wobbling, right? Take a deep breath, put your foot down. Don't necessarily worry about testing yourself. The point is to make these deposits. Don't worry about how well you're doing. You're going to wobble a little until you learn how to relax like this. Hold on to a chair or something next to you and help you do that. Don't worry about how well each thing you're doing is. Think of more the long-term accumulative effect. That's what you're really doing. So don't worry about it. You're putting bricks now. You're building a wall. You're building a foundation, so to speak, of your body, right? Okay. Part wild horse's mane. You know, one of the wonderful things about this learning experience that I so enjoy is the artful metaphors that are often used to convey these ideas. We're trying to understand energy, and we're using Tai Chi to help us do that. So many of the movements have colorful metaphor with clues in them to indicate the essence of the motion. So it helps you to understand the meaning of these actions more than the simple, more than just the simple structures themselves. And that helps you to use your imagination, do a little bit of a visualization, and behave more like the meaning of the motion. So it adds more to it than just exercise. It's a wonderful way of holistically integrating all of your resources, your imagination, your energy, your body, your spirit. So it's a very, very comprehensive way to practice. And so the metaphors kind of help us get the idea, the names of the motions, try to help us to see the in-depth meaning of these motions. So when we think of part wild horse's mane, the indicator here, the clue word here is that word part. And when we think about understanding energy, it helps us to define energy types so that we know when we're working with energy, what kind of energy are we doing? So in this case, we're using a splitting force, and most movements need some kind of an equal and opposite force in them. But this particular one provides for quite a conspicuous splitting action. There's also another hidden skill inside of the motion, and it's actually a shoulder strike. So when applying this action in a martial situation, imagine, for example, somebody reaching towards me or striking me, right? So the first thing we're striving to do is to make contact. We want to not let them in and just get to us. So we want to try to reach forward and touch them. A couple different variations on this application. One is by simply touching with your forearm the incoming arm. Let's say we sit underneath it and we touch it, right? Now what we're going to do is going to turn our waist, and we can actually control that arm and transfer it to the other hand. So now I have that person's arm in my left hand. Advancing forward in a solid foundation and coiling the energy in the rear leg, we can uncoil that energy. Here the shoulder would actually be in contact with the person, and using your leg and from a closed, coiled-like energy, we're going to bounce that energy off the floor, and we're going to use that energy and transfer it into our opponent. And in doing so, we're wide open, we're extended, we're connected, and we're trying to take advantage of and make our opponent unstable. So it's not so much that you're dealing a death blow, it's more the idea that you're stable and they are not. And fundamentally, that really is sort of the predominant strategy of Tai Chi. The idea is that this is mostly used as a defensive response to forces, and the outcome is typically where the practitioner is stable and extended, and the person is unstable, usually moving away in a hurry. So, in summary, we try to remain stable while making them unstable. That makes it a lot harder for them to hurt us when they're not stable. So let's take a look at the action the way we see it in form, and then I'll position myself in a way that allows us to be in the same direction. So initially just watch what happens here first, and then we'll apply the movement together. So in the third section of the form, we often practice on Fridays, the movement prior to part wild horse's mane is at the corner. So what we're going to imagine here is single whip, aimed 45 degrees at the corner. Traditionally, we think of doing the form in this direction, north and south. All right, so from here, part wild horse's mane looks like this. To me, a beautiful motion, meaning it allows for a very graceful extension of spirit. Really, you think about it. You have been given marvelous gifts. How do we say thank you for those gifts? Develop them. Wonderful way to do that, Tai Chi. Let's take a look at it again. I'm going to speed it up a little bit so that we see the sort of the energy transfer in the motion. Sometimes it's hard to see that when you're moving so slow. So this is an action where imagine somebody's kind of behind me a little bit, and I'm going to need to react to that person behind me. So watch. Part wild horse's mane. Now you can see there's a circular cycle going on there. There's a situation where weight is transferred, from emptiness to fullness, energy is stored, from closing to opening, right? So we can see a wonderful cycle of the idea of yin and yang, harmonious action, right? Let's take a look at the footwork first. Now, I'm going to do this first. I'll show you a little bit on the floor, and then we'll look at the mechanics of how we might do that together. So from here, when we're doing the action, just to show you generally where you're going to end up, we're going to actually bring this toe past the 45-degree mark, not exactly to the center line. Sitting on the left foot, we're going to step forward. Bow stance is standard, but not exactly at the corner. And then from here, we're going to unwind the action. So that's your footwork. But for the sake of practicing together, let's just work on the action so that we're all able to move in the same direction. So let's take a look at the action with our feet shoulders width and parallel. From here, we're going to turn your left foot out and step forward with your right. So from here, we're just going to look at it from a standard frame. When we think about doing the action, essentially speaking, you're going to use your foundation to shift your weight, right? So once your foundation's in place, the energy is going to transfer from the coiled leg to the other leg. So in summary, your goal is to try to secure your foundation, coil the energy in one side of the body, and transfer it through the other. So it doesn't necessarily have to apply to a person behind you. It can apply to a person who's in front of us as well. And hopefully the mirror will give us a look at both sides of the action simultaneously. So let's just begin again with our feet shoulders width. From here, turn the left foot out, stride forward, and shift your weight. A standard operation. Let's try that again. From here, sit with your knees bent, left toe out, weights on the right leg, move your weight over the right leg, heel, ball, toe, bend, forward knee. All right, so that's basically for breaking the footwork down when you're doing it, so to speak, out of form. All right. From here again, let's start with our feet shoulders width. Imagine warding, hand in front of your body with your arm around it. From here, imagine turning, coiling, sitting on your left foot, turning the toe out with all the weight on the left foot. Right foot steps forward, right hand goes to the left side. So in circling the body, you're chambering everything on the left side. From here, with the right hand in front of your left hip, palm is up to the ceiling, armpit is open, feel your shoulder. Push on your left foot and conduct a connected wave all the way up through the body. Now here I'm stopping over my foot. If you wanted to add a little bit more range of motion, you can open it to the corner or close to corner. All right, let's take a look at it again. So from here, let's imagine feet shoulders width, right hand circling to the right. From here, circling to the right. And when you're circling the hand, you're going to look, it looks like you're tucking your hand into a slot, turning, pulling your arm with your waist, and then opening your arm, right? So the waist turns right, left, right. Now when I'm doing these actions, I'm exaggerating the range of motion a little bit. Normally, when you think about working with internal energy, you really don't need to have your body wagging all around like that. In summary, it's the energy that you're working with, so you're not necessarily trying to have a great big range of motion. Now, when I'm doing these actions, I'm illustrating them in a way that makes them easier to see. But reality-wise, the motions, they start out with great big actions, but they tend to shrink down because you're trying to centralize and internalize the action. For the sake of our practice, we can make these movements big and round and obvious, but over time they will naturally condense down. So if I were doing the action, let's say from the opposite direction, normally we were doing it this way, let's do the action as if we were doing it in this corner. Let me do it for you one time and you'll see what I mean. So here I have a bow stance turned away from the mirror to this corner, 135 degrees. So let's see how that might look. So if we're sitting back, we're going to turn, we're going to pass the 45-degree mark, sit back on the left, and pushing right to the toe, the right hand comes left, right hand comes to the left side, the heel, ball, toe, not exactly corner, to the left of the corner a little bit. From here, right hand by your left hip, push on the floor, and open. Let's take a look at the whole thing again. This time, watch the left hand. Sit back, left hand, intersect, passing the corner. Bring your left hand to your right shoulder as your right hand goes to your left side. As your hand goes back, your foot goes forward. Waist turn left, weights on the left leg, open. Leaning into the posture, right elbow over the right knee. Let's try that again. From here, now one continuous smooth action. From here, sit back, turn. Waist turning left, open. Again. Now, again, as we do this action, strive to do it with a sense of continuousness. Let's try it together. Head up, tail down, body straight up and down, no leaning. Sit back, turn your body like a column. Left hand moves with the left side of the body. Left toe passes the corner. Right hand falls across the body. Hollow the chest, round the spine. Coil and extend. Comes in sets of 3. Sit back, turn your waist, and move your toe and hand together. We're integrating the body. Here, settle the elbow down as the weight moves forward, sinking your chi down the right side. Left hand scoops to the right side and step. Right shoulder relaxed, rounded. Front of the body, weight on the right side, pushing down. Slowly push down. Push down. Drive your body. Drive the body. Again, sit back, toe out, turn your palm. Your waist connects your body together. Right hand scoops to the left side. Open. You can repeat the action. Sink the weight. Put your foot in place. Open. Sit back, toe out, round the body. Move your weight over your left foot. Feel the body full on one side. Open. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. Just do it, right? Just do it a bunch of times. Let's try it again. From here, the more you do it, the more you're giving your brain a chance to manage it, right? There's no Tai Chi police, don't worry. Here we go. Sit back, turn. Coil. Stride, open. Sit back, weight on the right side, empty full, open. Weight on the left side, turn the toe out, open. Beautiful motion. Part wild horse's mane. Spend some time on it. Try to at least get a dozen reps in. Try to give your brain a chance to get it, right? The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll become with the action, and the more it'll be easier to make adjustments and then do a little homework on it. So I like to encourage you to study at least one motion at a time thoroughly a week. One motion per week. Study it, understand its purpose, its energy type, and so that when it comes time to doing that action in the form, you'll have that background information. That way there you're not guessing so much when you're trying to apply it, right? Please feel free to ask questions about any of the actions that you're working on. I also have a video uploaded on another platform where I'm calling out the form in its entirety. So I'll try to get that link to you today. So in the meantime, I hope that you have a wonderful day. Be safe, be blessed, and practice.